All right, y'all. Vivek Ramaswamy sat down with Alex Jones. It's kind of surprising if you ask me. But I guess what he's doing is he's taking from the Trump playbook. Remember Trump in 2015 and 2016? He sat down with Alex Jones, and then Trump went on to become president. Now, we know Vivek, he's created his lane as being the most pro-Trump Republican running against Trump. And so he's staying true to that. And he decided, hey, I'll sit down with Alex Jones. Now, remember, Alex Jones basically has to pay over $1 billion to the families of the Sandy Hook victims because he defamed them. He's trying 17 ways to Sunday to get out of paying them even a penny, but it's not working. Court has slapped him down over that repeatedly. But Vivek didn't care, sat down with him anyway. And interestingly here, they're going to go after Sean Hannity. Now, there's backstory to this. Vivek recently went on Sean Hannity's show, and Hannity was super aggressive against him. Why? I don't know, man. My guess is he was going after Nikki Haley and saying Nikki Haley's a neocon, she's a hawk, and she gets paid by the defense contractors. And Sean Hannity is also a neocon and a hawk and a defender of establishment Republicans. So he came to white knight for Nikki Haley, and he sort of viciously went after Vivek Ramaswamy. It was a big viral clip. We actually covered it on the show. You can go check that segment out if you'd like. So now Vivek is going to confide in Alex Jones about how bad the interview was with Sean Hannity. Let's watch.
That's the endorsement. Just like people go, wait, they're indicting Trump for no reason. That endorses him. You are the next biggest targeted person.
Did you see this Hannity interview last night by chance?
No, I missed it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm making the case. I think it's sane that on one hand, absolutely Israel is our ally. What happened to them was wrong. It was barbaric. It was medieval. And of course, they have a right to national self-defense. But I've also said that we should not want to enter a broader regional conflict in the Middle East that doesn't advance U.S. interests because we have to learn from our prior mistakes in this country. And that's arguably not good for Israel, but it's definitely not good for the United States. And so I also pointed to others in the Republican Party, like Nikki Haley, who screech, finish them, talking about Hamas and Iran as though there's no distinction. Finish them. Okay, what are the consequences of that for the United States of America?
I don't see it. Well, here's the problem.
Emotional action? So I think so interestingly, this guy, Hannity,
Both of these guys love to talk and love the sound of their own voices. You can see that they're like wrestling for time. It's amazing.
Pointed. Comes after me for pointing out that Nikki Haley has made $8 million after her time as the U.S. ambassador to the UN as a military contractor and otherwise. I mean, that was the wake-up call for me, is to see even a purported conservative voice buy into what is the captured establishment super PAC puppetry. Last night, you should watch this one.
I will.
Yeah, what a surprise, Vivek. Republican politicians doing the establishment's bidding? That is literally the entire purpose of the Republican Party. It's like, Jesus, and what have you been under a rock for your entire life? Of course they're doing the bidding of the military-industrial complex and the establishment. Duh.
Let me say something.
It was unbelievable.
It's powerful. Let me say something to Sean Hannity because I know him. Hey, Sean, the border's been completely wide open for 2.5 years. The Border Patrol admits tens of thousands conservatively of Hezbollah and Hamas fighters have gotten across. They've caught a bunch of them.
Only Alex Jones can take an issue where, so far, I'm on Vivek's side versus Sean Hannity. Now, I don't think Vivek would do anything to change all these wars or, like, reel in the military-industrial complex. I don't think he'll do that at all. But at least the rhetoric he brought up against Nikki Haley is correct. Haley's a neocon. She's paid by the military-industrial complex. Hannity is carrying her water. So far, I'm with Vivek against Hannity and against Nikki Haley. Only Alex Jones could parachute into this conversation and now make me turn on him. Because that is 100% bogus. Alex, if you think Hamas and Hezbollah are going to target the United States of America, you know dick about Hamas or Hezbollah. Hamas, yes, they're an Islamic militant group. They're in power, in a dictatorial fashion, by the way, in Gaza. But they have regional goals. They want a Palestinian state that's an Islamic state. That's what they want. That's what they're fighting for. Hezbollah is in Lebanon. Hezbollah is Shia. They don't do global jihad caliphate stuff. They're not like ISIS. They're not like Al-Qaeda. The fact guys, Alex Jones is amazing. He knows dick about geopolitics, and he pontificates on it on a regular basis. It's amazing. Lord grant me the confidence of Alex Jones ranting about anything ever. He just makes it up. Yeah, Hamas and Hezbollah entered in the southern border, and we got sleeper cells in this country. None of that is true. None of that is true. the people who attack the U.S., usually, by the way, they're funded by our ally, Saudi Arabia. They're the biggest culprit when it comes to the spread of radical Islam is Saudi Arabia. And it's always the Sunni fundamentalists. And it's not the ones with territorial ambitions like Hamas. It's ISIS. It's Al-Qaeda. It's people like that. Jesus Christ. God, he's so dumb. And he brings up the border thing as if that's like a counterpoint to Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is one of the most draconian hardliners on the border ever. Homie also said not only should we have a border with Mexico, he wants a border with Canada. Sean Hannity does. To act like Hannity doesn't care about the border. Oh my God. Anyway.
These are 90% military age men. Do you know what Hamas will do? They're here in our country. You know what Hezbollah will do? So
it's in the United States.
Hamas is not here. Hezbollah is not here. That's completely and utterly made up.
America that
we have. Look at Black Lives Matter endorsing the attacks on Israel. So we have this problem, and Iran has a high-tech military. And it's not that I'm, quote, scared of Iran, but we need to support Israel, but obviously not have our aircraft carriers attack Iran. And then now we're fighting Russia through NATO, and we're fighting Iran. What's going to happen, Sean? Use your head. This is how World War III starts, just like World War I and World War II. Once more wars start, other people say, hey, they're tied down. China is going to go into Taiwan, dummy, and we can't take on China too.
And the saddest part of this is that if there are Republican presidential candidates who stand to make money off of it because they're on the boards or have been on the boards of Boeing and are collecting stock options while they're running for president and have had family military contracting businesses and made a habit of making money off their time in government. This is why we have one crime family right now in the Biden family that has sold off our foreign policy to make their family rich. I could care less if you have an R after your name and you're going to do the same thing.
And that's why it's so refreshing when you're on the stage. Because literally, we've said this on air, we've covered it live. I was doing Stephen Crowder. I'm like, Vivek's the only guy I can listen to. This is all talking points, crap. They're all going to do what the military-industrial complex says.
It's adorable that he thinks Vivek is not a talking point machine. He is. He is. To be fair, his rhetoric is more correct on this issue, but he definitely is a talking point machine. And by the way, look, like, okay, good. Like, Alex Jones used to do rants against the Iraq War, too. Good. He used to do rants against the Patriot Act, too. Good. But, like, I also think he's his own worst enemy because he undermines these causes. Because he's like the psycho conspiracy theorist who's wrong about 87% of the stuff he says. And so that delegitimizes the position of like, hey, let's not do another war. Which sucks, right? And by the way, he also couldn't even bring himself to state the truth about Israel. He was like, of course we should support Israel, but don't go to war with Iran. I don't know, Alex. It seems like the way to actually get out of this, number one, is to have a ceasefire in Gaza. Number two, stop arming Israel so that they massacre innocent civilians left and right, which is exactly what they're doing right now. Number three, a U.S. president has the leverage to force Israel to the negotiation table and mandate, hey, we're not going to give you your billions of dollars, and we're not going to give you your weapons anymore unless there's a solution to Palestinian human rights. You want to get to the core of the problem? You have to do something on that front. Whether the answer is a one-state solution, equal rights for all, or the solution is a two-state solution with 1967 borders, Palestinians get their own state and they get equal UN representation and you have UN peacekeepers in the region. You're not going to fix the problem until you get to the core of it. And Alex Jones cannot bring himself to get to the core of it. He probably doesn't know anything about the core of what's happening with Palestine. But his position is like, keep supporting Israel, but try to stay out of war with Iran. Not enough. It's not strong enough.
They said a year ago with Biden in December, we can't give tanks and F-16s and cruise missiles. That'll escalate to World War III. But they went ahead and violated their own RAND Corporation threat escalation boards. So see, your money's not...
That part's actually true, by the way.
...worth anything in your golf course stock options if we have World War III cuckoo. And now China is messing with India. India's got aircraft carriers out there about to go to war. Pakistan...
We are marching our way to World War III. I am increasingly worried that there are people in the United States rooting for it. And this is our moment to say, hey, we can actually, now we've seen the problem. We can't just spin our wheels and complain about it. We have a chance to lead this country, to shut down the deep state, declare independence from China, end World War III in our path to it.
Declare independence from China. Oh my God. All right, look, if these guys were genuinely and sincerely concerned with getting into World War III, the answer is, number one, ceasefire right now. Stop massacring innocent civilians in Gaza day in and day out, which is exactly what Israel's doing. That's step number one. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Why are you not calling for a ceasefire? Screaming from the rooftops. Step number two, condition our aid to Israel and force them to the table, and we're going to solve the Israel-Palestine crisis right now. Number three, get back in the Iran deal. Get back in the Iran deal. That's true de-escalation. They followed the terms of our agreement with them to a T. It was verified by the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, 12 times. And then we ripped the deal up. Trump did that. Then Biden was like, oh, I'm going to get back in the deal. Then he didn't get back in the deal. Look in the problem. Look in the problem. Look in the mirror. As Taylor Swift would say, I'm the problem, it's me. Get back in the Iran deal, get a ceasefire, sit down at the negotiation table to get Palestinian human rights, and this is how you actually bring about peace. Instead, this like weird, vague posturing against like the deep state and stuff like that, it's not going to get you anywhere, especially when you say, and definitely support Israel, but no war with Iran. Don't like do the thing that leads up to the war and then be surprised if the war happens. Okay, so look, their rhetoric is better than a lot of Republicans on this, better than Hannity, better than Nikki Haley, but still, if you really are concerned about preventing World War III, step number one is screaming from the rooftops for a ceasefire right now. And guess what? Everybody and their grandma is going to say, you know, you're a Hamas simp or something. They're bullshitters, they're liars, everybody sees through it, and stay the course. Because what's happening right now in Gaza is literally genocide. And we're all just sitting around and watching it happen. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.